Okay, this is video 3 of part 2 of The Knight's Tale. So, assure that you have your reading of The Knight's Tale. Open up to page 121. Assure that you have through 21 written on your good versus bad fortune charts. And let's finish this up. Finish the last 3 or 4 pages up. So, line 890. When we left, Theseus had decided, I will kill Palamon and Arcite. Problem solved. No real investigating I have to do. They both admitted to their acts of breaking the code of knighthood and directly disobeying what he had established for them. Then, in true womanhood, Queen Hippolyta began to weep, and so did Emily, and all the other ladies of the company. It seemed to all of them that a great pity that such a chance should ever befall, for the young men were gentle and of high station, and their quarrel was for nothing but love. The ladies saw their bloody wounds great and painful, and all the ladies, both least and greatest, cried out, Have mercy, Lord, upon all us women. They fell down on their knees and would have kissed his feet where he stood, until at last his anger was slacked, for pity soon arises in a gentle heart. Though at first he quaked and shook with anger, he gave brief, concise consideration to the misdeeds of the two, and to the cause of these as well. And although his anger affirmed their guilt, he still excused both of them in his reason thus. He well considered that every man will help himself in love if he can, and also will escape from prison. And besides, his heart took pity on the women, for they continued to weep. And in that gentle heart he now considered and whispered to himself, Shame upon a ruler that will have no mercy, but be a raving lion, both in word and deed. To those who are repentant and fearful, as much as to a proud, scornful man who will persist in the same course of action that he began with. So, the good fortune is that the women, Emily, Hippolyta, and the rest of the women that are on this hunting expedition, beg Theseus to have mercy on the men, because the cousins, or the knights, are gentle, of high station, and because they're fighting for the love of a woman. So they appeal to Theseus's soft side, but they're also appealing to the knight's order of chivalry, because remember, a good knight will do whatever a woman needs them to do. Okay? So, picking up from the top of page 123. The ruler had little discernment who knows no dividing line in such a case, but weighs pride and humility by one measure. Shortly when his anger had thus passed off, he looked up with cheerful eyes and pronounced the following in a loud voice. The God of love, ah, bless us all, how great and mighty a ruler he is. No obstacles withstand his might. May he be called a God for his miracles, for according to his own desire he can make whatever he pleases of every heart. Look at this Arcite and Palamon here, who were clean out of my prison and might have lived as kings in Thebes, and who know that I am their mortal enemy, and that their death too lies within my power. Yet love, in spite of what they can do, has brought both of them here to die. Consider now, isn't that the height of folly? Who may be a real fool unless he is in love? For the sake of God who sits above, see how they bleed. Aren't they finely equipped? Thus their Lord, the God of love, has paid their wages and fees for their service. And yet those think themselves very wise who serve love, no matter what may happen. But the best joke of all is that the lady for whom they are having this diversion knows as little to thank them for it as I do. She knows no more of these hot-blooded goings-on, by God, than a cuckoo or a hare does. But everything has to be tried, hot or cold. A man must be a fool, either young or old. I know that from very long ago, through my own experience. For in my time, I was one of those servants of love. Therefore, since I know of the pain of love, and realize, as one who has often been caught in its net, how sorely this pain can cripple a man, I wholly forgive you this misdeed, at the request of the Queen who kneels here, and also of my dear sister, Emily. You must both swear to me at once that you will never harm my country, or make war upon me by night or day, but be my friends in every matter that you can. I forgive you every bit of this misdeed. They swore to him fairly and well what he had asked for, and sued for his patronage and mercy. So, bad fortune is that Theseus admits that he's been caught in this net before. He knows of the pain of love. And he motions to look at what love has really done to Palamon. He says these two guys are standing here bloody and at the end of death. This is bad news for these guys. And on top of it, Emily has no idea that these two men love her this much, and that they're willing to risk their lives for her. So this is all bad fortune. But the good that kind of comes out of this is twofold. Because Theseus knows of what love is and has obviously been a victim of love, he forgives and pardons Palamon and Arcite for all of the wrong that they have ever committed against them, committed against him or the country of Athens. The other part of the good news is now Emily's hearing all this, and Emily knows that these two guys love her. This is really good for Arcite and Palamon, okay? They've been forgiven, they've been pardoned, they don't have to suffer any of the consequences, and now Emily knows that these two guys love her. All good news. So let's finish up part 2, going to page 125. He granted them favor and spoke thus. In the matter of royal lineage and wealth, even if the lady were a queen or a princess, each of you is no doubt worthy to marry when the time comes. But all the same, I am speaking for my sister Emily, for whose sake you sustain this conflict and jealousy. You yourselves know that she may not marry two at the same time, even if you fight forever. One of you, whether he likes it or not, must go blow on an ivy leaf. That is to say, she may not now have you both, no matter how jealous or angry you are. Therefore, I am placing you in the following position, so that each of you have his destiny as it is shaped for him. Listen to how. See, here's my solution in the terms of what I devise. So Theseus says, okay, here's the deal, guys. You can't both have her. She can't marry both of you. So we need to figure out a solution to this. So this is the plan that Theseus comes up with. My will is as follows, as a flat conclusion to the matter without any arguing. If it please you, take it willingly. Theseus's plan is not, why don't we just ask Emily who she would like to marry? No, because that's not, obviously that wouldn't make any sense. He's now going to devise this grand battle that Palamon and Arcite are going to have to fight for. Because remember I told you, with courtly love, if two men are in love with the same woman, one ends up with the girl and one ends up dead. So here we go. Each of you shall go where he wishes, freely and without reason or control, and 50 weeks from this day, neither more nor less, each of you shall bring here 100 knights, armed properly for the tournament and ready to decide the claim to her by battle. I promise you, without fail, on my faith as I am a knight, that whichever of you two has the might, that is to say, whichever he or you can, with the 100 knights I spoke of, kill his opponent or drive him from the arena, then to him to whom fortune gives such fair favor, I shall give Emily in marriage. So Theseus' solution is, okay, you both can go wherever you want to go, whatever country you want to go to. You both have to round up an army of 100 knights. You come back here in 50 weeks, 50 weeks, so almost a year, and your two armies fight against each other, and whoever can kill the other or drive them from the arena, because it will basically happen in a giant like Colosseum. Whoever can kill the other guy or drive him from the arena will win Emily's hand in marriage. I shall set up the arena in this spot, and as God shall have pity on my soul, I shall be a fair and faithful judge. You shall not come to terms with me unless one of you is dead or captured. If you think this is a good plan, say so, and consider yourselves well treated. This is your settlement and decision. So he says, this is my suggestion. If you have a problem with it, tell me. If you agree to it, you have to let me know. So he gives them kind of an out. But remember, they're never going to get over Emily. They need to solve this problem somehow. This is the most chivalrous, honorable way to do it. But who but Palamon now looks happy? Who but Arcite jumps for joy? Who could say or sing the joy that was made in that spot when Theseus had performed so fair a favor? Every kind of person present went down on his knees and thanked him with all his heart and might, and especially the two Thebans thanked him often. Thus, with good hope and happy heart, they took their leave and began to ride homeward to Thebes with its ancient wide walls. So Palamon and Arcite, they believe this is great news. They say, this is what we'll do. We will see you in 50 weeks. We'll see you in almost a year. And at that point, we'll both have our armies together and we'll battle to the death. So when we leave part 2, this is what you need to think about. First, the declaration by Theseus. I give you freedom. I pardon you. You're going to have to battle to the death. Is this good fortune or bad fortune for the two knights? That is what you need to start to think about. Okay? Think about everything that has happened so far. They love Emily. They will never get over Emily. They want to be able to have Emily as their wife, but also be the person that they have been their entire life. Okay? So is this situation good fortune or bad fortune for the knights? Make sure you have all 24 aspects of good versus bad fortune, and you have a complete understanding of what has happened in part 2. Make sure you write down any questions if you have any questions for me, and come to talk to me about any kind of misconceptions or any parts that you're struggling with.